You would think that people would start catching up as to the phenomenon that I always talk about. You would think people would start catching up. And it's that when people fall in love, they really don't do nothing to make it happen. They do nothing. They don't do backflips. They don't do spinneroonies. They don't do that one trick. They don't know those words. Things just happen organically. How the hell did you think prehistoric bros and prehistoric chicks met? You think I was around? Father Alex wasn't around during the prehistoric. There wasn't a prehistoric Alex, right? People just fell in love. But the problem that we have today is that people don't understand. Back then, people maybe didn't know about math, but they had an instinct about human nature. You know, prehistoric humans had an instinct about what it is to be human. And they had a deeper understanding about who we are than we currently have today. Like, not all the time, not every prehistoric animal had it, but because they were so in touch with their bodies, because they sensed people's energy, they had a visceral understanding about human nature that they couldn't put into words or even put into a book. And that's this. Just like gravity, right? You don't see the planets asking to have things gravitate towards it. Things just happen. And that density in physics is matter, and in real life is value, right? That density that creates a gravitational force around you is called value. And the thing about value is that value doesn't seek to be valued. Whatever is valuable doesn't seek to be discovered. Just like oil doesn't seek to be discovered. It is happy in and of itself. As soon as people seek it, as soon as people find it, then they will seek it. But it doesn't seek. The trophy doesn't work for the competitors. It's the opposite, right? Value, it is created and it is paraded. Once people have the thing that they valued, it is paraded around, right? And those who want it seek it. It doesn't seek, it is seeked. And that's something that people just don't understand, that whenever you are in an interaction with people, the most important thing is to literally just don't do nothing. Why? Because by doing something, you begin performing. And when you start performing, you start to project. You start to project your negative traits. You start to project your insecurities. And a lot of the time, this performance is too much and it pushes people away. Something about acting that I learned is that actors say this: less is more. In fact, the less you try to act, the better it'll seem, right? The problem that people have is that when they meet someone who they feel is their twin flame, or they feel they are valued by other people, they start to perform. They stop being themselves. You start to take on roles, right? And everyone has a different personality depending on where they stand in the social realm. Sometimes you, for example, me, I may act a certain way when I feel like you don't like me. I may act a certain way when I feel like you're better than me. I may act a certain way if I feel like you are threatening my life. You have different personalities, different selves that arises depending on the situation. And unfortunately, too many of us has a really needy, creepazoid, repulsive self when we find someone that we like, but that they don't like us back. You see, you gotta understand, there's a part of you that kind of knows when the person doesn't want you back. And so you start to perform. You start to do more. You start to do backflips, spinneroonies, monkey double backflips to get them to like you. And what you don't know is that this performance is getting in the way between you and them, because you're hiding behind an opaque screen of performance, an opaque screen of fakeness, and this pushes people away. Someone who could have connected with you will not have connected with you because they're getting to know your performance self and not really getting to know yourself. Where when you meet someone, you like them, right? But maybe that person might need a few more dates to like you. Right? Maybe that person may have a slower digestion system and may need a few more days. They might be like snakes, where it takes them a week to digest an animal. And so as a result, because you're so impatient, you start to push them away. It's almost like inoculation from a virus. A little bit of that inoculation protects them from that virus. Too much of that pushes the person away. And this is why when you first meet people, slow the fuck down. I swear to God, you make more mistakes by speeding it up and by doing a lot than slowing your hard ass down. I'm telling you, consistently. The performance is what's going to push people away. The performance is what's going to make people say, you know what, I may not connect with this person. But you know what's ironic? As soon as you stop acting, or as soon as you meet someone who may not like you, who you may not like, but they like you back, you'll notice there's a different side of you that comes out. So remember, it's the performance aspect that comes from your insecurity, your sense that you're not worthy of them, your sense that you're not cool enough, attractive enough, that causes you to act like an imposter, that causes you to act like someone that you're not. And as a result, people are just gonna get repelled by it. People are repelled by fakeness. People are repelled by things that are not real. So that's why you have to develop genuine self-love. Once you develop genuine self-love, you could be with yourself and be okay with them not wanting you, because you know you could be happy on your own. It's not that you don't need people, because you are a human animal, you need people, but that you don't need them entirely to at least feel comfortable with yourself, right? So, by the way, people, just to let you guys know, I am definitely selling my art. If anybody needs art created, people, I make art for a lot of people. You guys can purchase my art. This is with watercolor. I make all forms of art, to be honest with you. I make watercolor art, realistic art, but this is with pastels. I make all forms of art with every material available. Like literally, I believe I am a very diverse artist. So my paintings start at $1,000 plus shipping and the framing. And if you guys want to work with me and want to commission a painting, you guys can just send me a message on Instagram, Delexis P, or just comment down below and I'll look at it. And there you guys can get a custom made painting by me. Hopefully you guys can one day preserve it, collect it, so when I die, you guys can sell it for a higher price. Okay, so do that, or else let's continue. So look, let's talk about this, right? Robert Greene has a few quotes, and we're going to be reading a few quotes from Lao Tzu, Robert Greene, Oscar Wilde, that talks about this concept, because you see this concept a lot in Chinese philosophers, and I've found it to be very powerful. And it says this, right? Lao Tzu says, by doing nothing, everything is done, right? You have to know you have two modes of being, active and non-active, okay? And the active part in attracting people is pretty much developing self-confidence, working on your looks, making sure you go where you go where the people you want are, developing self-care, developing a meditation practice, going to the gym. As a guy, I always tell people, building up your career, building up your money, building up your power. And all of those things is the action, is the doing. But then once you finally are in front of someone, you gotta stop, because you've done all the work. The Bhagavad Gita says you're entitled to the labor, but not the fruits of your labor. Once you are in front of that person, once you did all your work, once they're in front of you, stop making effort. Stop trying to be funny. Stop trying to be interesting. What you could do though, you can try to be romantic, right? Impress them. As a guy, initiate the first move, give her a few flowers if she's reciprocating, if she's being consistent, right? That's all you have to do. But the excess, when you get that sensation that they don't like you, that reaction is so crucial. You have to react to you sensing that they don't like you. React with non-action. React with non-action. Now, when you sense that they like you, do your shit, right? Twerk, spin a Rudy, backflips, all that shit, right? But when you sense that they don't want you, doing more just creates more problems, creates more confusion. Get what I'm saying? So you gotta stop that shit, right? You gotta learn to do nothing and back off. And the only reason why you wanna do so much is because you're sensing a reality. You're sensing that they don't want you. You know, people have a certain way of connecting mind and body. In other words, your body senses that they don't like you, but your mind doesn't compute it because it's in denial. The thought of them not liking you produces so much pain that your brain rather deal with the burden of denial than the burden of the truth. So as a result, you get more needy. You start doing more. And this person maybe needed an extra. I've dated women who I knew I was going to like them eventually, but they were so freaking desperate. They wanted to speed things up so much that I got scared that I would get turned off by it. I'm like, yo, like now I don't even want you as much anymore. So you gotta do nothing, right? And they said appear. So, and the reason why is this is because you gotta understand, a lot of people are not. A lot of people don't understand that everyone is acting, and love in the initial phases is a game of deception. Deception how? Well, deception that everyone does it, okay? You see the text, you don't want to look too needy, so you put the phone down. We all know that if we reacted exactly how we feel, if we say exactly what we have in mind, if we did exactly what we feel like doing, we'll be sent to death row, right? A lot of you guys will have a few criminal records. You'll be labeled as a creepazoid in front of other people's eyes. If I express how I felt in real life, some people will not want me, and some crazy shit will happen, right? So it's this deception part is what keeps everything together. Now there's some deceptions that you don't do, lying to people about your health, lying to people about your finances and stuff like that. But lie to people about how much you want it, motherfucker. Like don't be so desperate. Like what the hell is your problem? Like lie to people. It's not heaven. People are not gonna be able to see the truth, right? That's one thing. Now, by the way, if you guys want to apply the strategy and you're dating someone and you want to do nothing to get them to become attracted to you, or you feel like you're doing too much and you want my feedback as to whether or not what you're doing is right or wrong, book a call with me. Click in the description down below where it says book a call with me, and there you'll be able to get a one-on-one phone call with me and have me on the phone today to apply these strategies, right? Because sometimes you watch these videos, but it doesn't entirely apply to your situation. So you need someone like me to listen to your situation and see how it applies to your life. And there you'll be able to talk to me individually, not an AI, not an assistant like some people do. I swear to God, some people hire coaches where they pay for these coaching calls, but they don't get to talk to that person. You'll be able to talk to Father Alex. You'll be shocked. You're gonna be like, holy shit, Father Alex exists. All right? So click in the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one, or else I'm closing the channel. Let's continue with the video. And now the other aspect of doing nothing is this. Is that it erases, it exposes you to your insecurities. The art of doing nothing, when you are interacting with someone and you want somebody to like you back, shows you the discrepancy between your most attractive self and your least attractive self. Because when you do nothing, you'll notice there are some impulses that are consistent and that come with a certain set of behavior that want to be acted out in compulsion. And I am telling you, the compulsive action that you cannot resist, that you react to when somebody doesn't like you, that compulsive action is your lower self. It's the size of you that people get repelled by. And so the way to become an alchemist and burn that away and integrate it into your personality in a healthy way is to literally do nothing. Over time, if you don't satisfy those urges, if you don't reward those urges with attention, it'll go away eventually. And this is why. It's similar to training dogs. If you enter a house and your cute little chihuahua comes in barking at you, telling you how I want your attention, and he's jumping on you, he's jumping on your chest and stuff like that, because you reacting to it by cuddling it, touching it, or even getting annoyed by it, you know what it does? It reinforces that behavior. But one of the things I learned from watching Cesar Millan and other dog people is that if you just ignore the behavior, if you do nothing and you act like nothing's happening, and that dog calms the fuck down, and once the dog calms down, you pet it, you are reinforcing to that little thing that I want you to be more relaxed. And the next time you come in, that dog will be more relaxed and won't jump on you because he wants your attention. He learns to get your attention through nothingness. And it's the same thing with the behavior. Is that you're gonna start noticing that if you actually just one time, follow what I say, one time, you'll notice that it gets more results. And by you doing nothing, you are gonna see for yourself how much power there is in that. Or even better, just look back. Learn how to gain premature wisdom. Look back in your life. When you didn't do nothing, notice how it had actual results. And that will literally be like you rewarding the dog to be calm. You are rewarding yourself to be calm. And eventually, over time, those compulsions to do something, those compulsions that self-sabotage you from the people that like you back, will eventually go down. And the beauty about this strategy, and it could be, and the bad part about the strategy to some people is that there's a lack of self-consciousness behind it. In other words, you're not going to notice how much different your behavior. You're going to notice that you have an urge to scratch the itch of neediness, but you're not going to really notice how attractive you are acting. You're just going to notice, you're just going to feel a fear that maybe it's not working, or a fear that this person is going to go away. If you just allow yourself to be in that state of not knowing, a state of fear, and relax, you'll notice that they end up liking you back. They really do. Like and maybe not this time, but over the long run, if you really take a sample size, you'll notice over the long run, it actually ends up creating more results than not. That's the power of that, you know? And this is why I tell people, if you want to apply these strategies, you have to have almost like a trust in the. Robert Greene said on why people fall in love with you do nothing is that the more you are seen and heard from, the more calming you appear. If you already established in a group, temporarily withdraw from it will make you more talked about, even admired, right? He doesn't say do more. He doesn't say do a backflip. He doesn't say climb a mountain. All he's talking about to create more power around you is to literally do less. Literally do less, right? Create value through scarcity. That is the ultimate form of creating value, not through words, not through actions, but through pure scarcity, right? Now, he also says, too much contact will spoil the illusion. It's best to be present indirectly and to leave the proper. So the way that this works is that the absence is literally like heat to the food you prepared. When you're meeting people, the interaction is literally putting the ingredients down. And if the ingredients are right, meaning if both of you guys have that chemistry, if both of you guys have that ability, that seed that will grow into love, which some people have it and some people don't. Like when I say people, I mean two people may have it and two people may not have it, right? But if you switch one person for the other, all of a sudden it may happen, right? That happens. That power is that presence is cultivated only in your absence, right? It grows in the person's mind, and they begin to have a certain mental image of you, right? Even Lao Tzu said, no, not Sun Tzu. Rumi said, your task is to not seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built up against it. You just got to look inside of yourself. Stop self-sabotaging by doing too much, right? Be receptive to the person, meaning if the person is showing coldness, if there's doubt in your mind, back away, right? But when a person confirms to you through consistency and you not having doubt about how they feel about you, then you could do all the creepy, needy stuff that you like to do, right? But the problem is that people are not perceptive because they feel so insecure inside that they don't care. They just bulldoze themselves in a china shop and try to make it work. And it pushes the other person away. If you look in your life, this is literally what happens when people fall in love with you. You don't do shit to make somebody fall in love with you that you don't love back. You really don't. In fact, you kind of get annoyed and you sort of push them away. You do less and they do more. Let's pay attention, people. Something's going on here. And that's the non-action. The nothingness is literally what draws people to you. The nothingness and you just let it happen without you trying to impress, without you overperforming, is what literally draws people to you and what draws you to other people. Get what I'm saying? And for me, this is a saving grace, because if we all just learned this, we wouldn't have creepy people stalking you, and we wouldn't have so many heartbreaks, because a lot of the heartbreaks come because you think something's possible that's completely impossible. You think you can win this person over when in reality this person has no feelings for you, and the more you try, the more you repel them, right? And there's the power of doing nothing. So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600. But with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99. Or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So you not only do you get the courses, but the bonuses. And that comes down to $7.99 or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the feminine woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go. I go to meditation retreats to create these courses. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside. Or else I'm close to the